Okay, family, so we are at it again with ice cream. And I'm going to show you something that is kind of a combination. We're going to prepare the ice cream, actually by hand again. And the last time we did this ice cream thing, I showed you how to do it with the salt and the ice. So that preparation is going to be the same, but this is a hybrid thing because the last one was like all pure, with vanilla extract and all natural and all this stuff. So we're going to cheat a little bit this time. So what we have here, we have milk and we have half and half. And this does two things. They put so much sugar in this stuff that you don't need sugar. It's already got vanilla flavoring. It's not real vanilla, it's just vanilla flavoring. And that's fine. And we're going to make Cherries, Jubilee. Now, one of the coolest things I remember when I was growing up is my mom used to take us to Baskin Robbins. If we were good, if we sold flowers, a lot of flowers. She used to take us, I think it was in National City, no, it was at Chula Vista. I can't remember exactly where it was. But I used to look forward to it all week to get some Cherries Jubilee. So that's what I'm going to make right now. So the basic ratio, guys, for ice cream is basically 2 to 1 is what I use. So we got 2 of this and 1 of this. That's the ratio. So in this case, I'm going to start with 280 grams by weight, very precise, of this half and half French vanilla, which is going to be the cream of the ice cream. So go ahead and pour it in. 280 grams. I've got a scale here. It's very, very helpful. You can also use it by volume with cups, but this is very precise just because I'm like that. Okay, there we go. That's 280. Okay, now we're going to go 140 grams of milk. Okay, so there. Okay, I'm going to tear this. Now that's pretty good, but I'm going to double it. So I'm going to tear this thing, like I said. We're going to add another 280. Oofda. Okay. Tear it. I forgot to tear it the first time. I just did it in my head. Math. And then 140. Another 140 of this milk. Okay. There. Now that, as you can see, is going to give us a lot of ice cream. If we're going to do this, we might as well make a nice batch. And then here are some frozen cherries, which actually they don't have pits, which is nice. I don't know how they do it. They're GMOs, Frankenstein cherries, I guess. So what we do now is go ahead carefully, put it in the blender. Whoop. Okay, we're done with the scale, so it can go away. Let's not make a mess. Very careful. And we're going to add all these cherries except for just a few. You'll see why later. We're going to save some of them. I would say save about that many. Okay? And put them back in the freezer. So, we blitz it. Like Gordon Ramsay says. Blitz. On low. Close it. So check it out on medium. So the sugar's already in there, the cream's already in there, and those frozen cherries gives us that purple color. How cool is that? Easy. Put it back in the container. And preferably you want to chill this overnight. Ooh, look at all that chunky stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Now it smells really good already. You can actually smell how sweet that half and half is. Seriously, don't put that in your coffee. Super bad for you. so sugary. But for ice cream, you know, it's just perfect for that. So cover it overnight, preferably in the fridge. Minimum of 8 hours. That's what you want. So this is going to go in the fridge overnight, minimum of 8 hours. And then we are going to make our ice cream using ice and rock salt. And we'll be back for that. So this is going to come out really good. Childhood summer memory. Okay, familia, so this ice cream has been in the fridge for 8 hours. And now it's time to churn it to make it into like real ice cream. So this is the way we're going to start. And the first thing you should know, and I'm kind of like just getting this process a little bit more precise as I go. And I haven't been doing this for too long, but there's two things I'm going to try that are new. I'm going to try a new ratio. And the ratio is salt. This is rock salt, not for cooking. It's this one is specifically marketed for making ice cream, but it's basically rock salt. In the Midwest here, that's what you put in your driveway basically. But they call it rock salt for ice cream. So whatever, you know. So we have that. And there's a lot of ice here. And the ratio is 5 cups of ice to 1 cup of salt. Now this is a half cup, so I'm going to use 2 of these. And I'm going to use 1 cup for ice. And this is our container. Okay? So the goal is to create a brine that is going to get really, really, really cold. And it's going to prevent the water particles in the milk and the cream to turn into ice, because you don't want that, because that's not creamy. Those are shards of ice. So here's the way I'm going to do it this time. So I'm going to take the container that's going to keep the ice cream, and I'm going to cover it so we don't get any salt in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half a cup of this salt, sprinkle it in. Okay, so that's half a cup. Okay. I'm going to shift it over and put 1 cup here. Well, a totally 1 cup. Okay, so that's 1 cup of salt. So now we need 5 cups of ice. And there's no science to this. They're going to get away from you. Ice cubes. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Get in there. Shift it a little bit. It gets a little difficult. That's 4. Okay. And that is 5. Roughly 5 cups of ice. And notice that our container that's going to hold the ice cream is, because it's covered, it's perfectly clean. That's what we want. Okay? So this brine is going to make the ice cream happen. So here we go again. Half a cup. Goes in around the edge, like that. So remember, for every cup of salt, we need 5 cups of ice. Okay? And if that happens, don't worry. That's why we use this lid, to protect the container. But we wanted to get it cold. Alright? So, you repeat. It's about 1 cup of ice. Okay. And 2 cups. And it's getting difficult because it's getting full. 3 cups. 4 cups of ice. Ooh, now they're sliding around. They're being naughty. Naughty. Ooh, okay, we need to fit 1 more cup of ice cubes in here. And now we're going to have to get creative in filling in the holes. Okay, whoops, there we go. Okay, now that's pretty full. All right, now what this happens, or when this happens and what it does, is that it's going to melt the ice very quickly, but it's going to keep this container extremely cold, and I can already feel it, how cold it is. It's creating a brine, okay? So we keep it like that. There we go. Now we got it under control. So now we remove this plastic lid, and you see your container? I can already see it's already showing signs of how cold it's getting inside. So once we have it like that, with the brine around it, very good. So we add our mixture that we made earlier, remember? Right in. And the key is, what we're trying to achieve is we're trying to get the ice cream to freeze, but not the water to freeze. And I know that's kind of difficult to understand, but it's the entropy of the cold brine around the ice cream mixture. And then we're just gonna churn. And I decided, instead of using my crazy utensils that I've used in the past, I'm just gonna use a whisk. And this is gonna take a while, minimum of 30 minutes. And this is what you do. So when you do this, you're introducing air into the ice cream. So it's gonna rise a little bit. But this ice that's getting basically melted into this really ice cold water is going to prevent shards of water crystals from entering the ice cream mixture. But you keep moving it, but remember that with energy, with motion, that creates heat. So don't go too fast, just pace yourself. This is what you do. Okay? And then let it rest once in a while, like that. That's what I'm going to do. And right now, what I'm also going to introduce are these chopped up cherries. This is the coolest thing when we're going to have a finished ice cream, is you get to bite into like pieces of cherries, right? So might as well introduce them now. And check this out. And be very patient. Like I said, minimum 30 minutes. And this ice, this brine, is going to get so cold that it's going to keep the ice cream creamy, but without the water turning into crystals of ice. Well, anyway, that's the choice that we have, aside from an ice cream maker. But I think it's going to come out really nice. So just keep doing that slowly, because remember, if you move it too fast, you're going to introduce heat, because chemistry. So we'll be back. Okay, so familia, check this out. So I've been actually whisking this for about 10 minutes, and I added more salt, just a bit more salt, about half a cup on the top of the ice. And it's very interesting the way chemistry works, but the salt and the ice, they do a little dance, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get going, but this one is definitely got it going because it's making noises, kind of like ice breaking, and that's exactly what it's doing. The ice is breaking down, and it's going to make this brine that is going to be very cold, and it's going to keep this ice cream very, very cold. And as long as you keep whisking slowly, I don't know if you heard that. My fridge is kind of loud, sorry. But as long as you keep doing that, not too vigorously, it's going to make it creamier. You're going to add air, and it's not going to allow for the water in the mixture, in the ice cream, to get those crystallized water things. Because then you're not really making an ice cream, then you're making like, one of those things you get at 7-Eleven, right? So just keep working it slowly, and we'll be back, okay? Okay, familia, look at this. It's not in the freezer, it's not in the fridge. This is all happening chemically through this brine that we have here. And this ice cream right here is just about perfect. It's giving a little resistance. It is getting frozen, but it's still creamy. And that's what you want. And this brine has been wonderful. I kind of want to keep doing this because it's probably going to get creamier. It's going to taste better. But, you know, I've been doing it for about 35 minutes. And at some point you just have to stop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into this container and put it in the freezer. You can wait 4 hours to enjoy your ice cream. I would suggest doing it overnight. And if you aerate it enough, if you put enough air during this slow whisking process, then it's going to be really creamy and really nice. But look at that. Isn't that wonderful? So that's what we're going to do. And I'll let you know the results when I post the final video. Okay?